Okay, this year Jacob pulled a draw elk tag, and we'd never actually held one before, so it was pretty exciting. Morning, Brett. Morning. Get here.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Ace Outfitting, small town, big adventures. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. Trail Runners Canine Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. And these fine sponsors.
I took a little bit of a time to make sure that the rifles were sighted in. On this particular hunt, we used a 300 Winchester short mag. We had the Bushnell Nitro optics on it. I love this reticle in here. It's a nice thick reticle. It's easy to see. It's going to be great for low light, last light conditions. Set it in perfectly. We just sighted it in, and I'm getting pretty close. I'm going to take one more shot and make sure we're ready to go. It was 2 inches high at 100, on at 200, and a couple inches low at 300. So we had a really good idea where this firearm was shooting.
See that hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's yours.
Like that dead center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this year I got the opportunity to pull a draw elk tag. I've always just hunted regular season elk, and this year is completely different.
Pretty nerve-wracking actually when you first pull a tag like this and you're going into a zone where you have no idea even where to go. You know it's a good zone, there's a lot of elk, but you're really not sure where to start.
All right, Jacob and I are on our scouting mission. We showed up late last night, all kinds of different things keeping us at home a little longer than we had planned to, but we got camp set up, and this morning we're heading to do some scouting, a little bit of hiking, and maybe set up some trail cameras.
It was completely different, brand new area. We had to do a lot of scouting before, so we got a really good understanding of where we had to be. We were talking back and forth with Brett on the phone because he couldn't be there, and we put on a lot of miles, putting up cameras and trying to figure out where we really wanted to be on opening morning.
There was a big bull spotted here last night, so we're excited to go and maybe get a look at him this morning, maybe listen to him. Hopefully he's calling, and if not, get ourselves ready so we can find him next week. Here we go. All right, Jacob and I had a pretty good hike into a spot where we've got some permission to hunt elk. There's lots of oats. We found a lot of trails. There's a little pocket in the corner here where there's a pile of trails coming out of the bush, trail along the water. And so we're gonna put some cams up. I don't have cell coverage here. Unfortunately, our cell cams won't work, but we're gonna put our Bushnell cams up, and hopefully they can capture something. We'll come and check on them if we need to next week.
Definitely not a bug chewing that off, definitely an elk.
I kept asking Jacob if he was excited about going on this hunt.
Don't get too excited.
He said, I'll be excited when I get there.
I'll be excited when it comes to day one.
I'm usually getting very excited pre-hunt, and maybe sometimes a little bit too excited.
You can actually see the elk from digging at the ground here. Pretty awesome. Okay, heading out. I'd say that's a successful scouting mission. Set up a trail camera. Found a lot of elk tracks. Found a lot of elk trails, beds, ground that's been worked up. stinks like elk. I think I'll say that on camera. Stinks like elk pee. It's paying off to take a look around right now. Won't feel so blind opening morning, but this has been a good first stop. Look at that, Terry.
Natural point.
Awesome. I don't know what to do. Shoot. Shoot? Wait till he turns.
Everything started to really come together. Jacob and I had made a couple scouting trips. We hauled our trailer in, parked it in the farmyard, got to know a local landowner. He let us park in his farmyard right close to where we were going to be hunting. We got a little better lay of the land. We got to see all the land, the trails that the elk were making through the canola, where they had a bunch of oat fields just absolutely thrashed, the trails through the bushes. We checked out several different areas, put on a lot of miles on our boots, and everything was really starting to come together.
Man, Jacob. I'm gonna go shoot a bull elk.
Opening morning came, and we got up super early because we wanted to get to a spot.
How you doing this morning? It's a tough wake up. Tough wake up, yeah, I know. I already drank a pot of coffee before you were up. Yeah.
Thankfully, I got a chance to meet Brett Strang.
Morning, Brett. Morning.
He was so helpful, and honestly, none of this hunt would have even happened at all for us without him.
He has hunted this area for a long time. He's got the opportunity to pull a couple draw tags.
Nice fresh rains. Quiet, get some quiet walking. That'll cover our set nicely too with this wind, so see how it goes.
So we're so thankful for the efforts that he put in, for the work he did to get permission on the land, and the scouting that he put in, the time that he put in, the cameras he put up, the pictures he was sharing. So, and then when we got there, to be there with us during the hunt was super special.
So we ended up walking into a bush, and Brett was calling ahead of us. He's a super aggressive caller going after these elk.
We hiked around probably 3-4 miles to get into a spot, kind of the back door in the field. When we show up there's a decoy and a hunter out in the field. So that part was disappointing too, but it's wildlife lands, and everybody's allowed there. So that's just the risk of going into that particular area. But there were elk in the area, and it was expected that there was going to be other hunters in the area. It just was unfortunate that we ran into them first thing on opening morning. So we had to back out of that area, and now we were pushing 10 o'clock in the morning, thinking our morning hunt on opening day was done. But Brett had one more plan, and so we got in the truck, put on some miles, and head north.
Today's Trail Runners Training Tip, we're going to learn how the importance of the groundwork and the table work pay off big time in the field.
Is it starting to make sense? Why the foundation of obedience is absolute necessary. Hey. Center.
Cast. Fetch. Hold. Here. Heel. Sit. Hold. Hold. Fetch. Fetch. Hold. Here. Heel. Sit. Hold.
I walk away.
Sit.
Why are we making him sit? It's teaching him to hold. We make them think about sitting. I don't address the hold, I address the sit. So that is how you fix something like that.
Sit. Hold. He just wants me to make it simple, stupid. Point me in the direction. Communicate to me.
Stay. Stay. Stay.
Derek.
Here.
If you need help with any training or are looking for an excellent Labrador Retriever, give us a call at Trail Runners.
So we got our hiking boots back on, went to a different spot. We found wallows and trails and fresh tracks after a recent rain. We were in the right area. So Brett pulled us into this spot. We hiked across an alfalfa field, got into some little bluffs, and he started calling. And we heard her snap right away. You could see him point into the bushes. We got ourselves ready, and this little spiker comes out. No, the spiker's back. It was perfect, actually, opportunity for me to practice with the camera. I was a little disappointed with my camera work when the spike come out. I couldn't get it quite clear, and I couldn't get things set up quite right. But because he came out, it gave me that chance to practice with it. But he came to 8 yards from us. It was super entertaining to have this elk come out in that close and be so curious as to where that call was coming from. So little spiker eventually winded us, and he headed into the bush. Right after that, a cool looking spirally 5x5 came out. I got some great photos of it.
That 5x5, he was cool. He was just all twisted up. It was a super cool little elk.
He was super curious. He hung out and fed in front of us. It was really neat and really interesting how Brett was cow calling and bugling while this elk was right in the field right in front of us. And a couple times he startled him, which was super cool to see. But that elk stayed out in the field for quite a while until he went around, winded us, and headed off in the bush. That's very sweet. That's very straight. So very shortly after the 5x5 disappeared, a fork horn came out. He was just as curious, came, walked around in front of us for quite a while. And then went off to our right, stayed out in the field. And while that four corners out, we could hear bugling in the distance. Like quite a ways. I don't know whether it was a mile or maybe even more into the bush, but it was quite faint to start, and you could just hear this bull getting closer and closer and closer. That's a big bull.
The first one that came in was a little spiker, and about 5 minutes later had a decent little 5x5. He was super cool. And about another 5 minutes later, another little fork came out, and we heard some crazy bugles in the distance, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer.
And you could just hear this bull getting closer and closer and closer.
Moving quick.
And at about 20 minutes, this bull steps out.
Yeah. Take him. I can't see him there. Okay. It's gonna come around for me. Got him. No. Okay.
So this bull commits. It steps out of the bush, gets into the field, but was kind of locked on that forkhorn that was still out in the field. As expected, Brett continued to do some calling, and the bull started to go behind the bluff, and Brett called, turned him. And when that bull came around the corner, dropped his antlers back on his back and screamed at us. It was absolutely incredible.
Right when this bull stepped out, I was actually a little bit hesitant on if I was going to shoot or not. I had really high expectations for the hunt, and I knew there was a lot bigger in the area.
I don't know what to do. Shoot. Wait till he turns.
So as this bull came in, it was getting pretty apparent that he wasn't going to give me a broadside shot, and I had a little bit of experience shooting an animal dead on, and this is exactly what he did, and I knew with a good shot he would go down right away.
Shoot that one.
So when I was comfortable with the shot and I knew he wasn't going to turn, I squeezed the trigger and he dropped.
Yeah, now. Right now? Yeah.
So buddy.
I didn't know what to think at that moment. It happened so fast.
That's the one we had on camera. That's the big one? Yeah. Oh, take him. Here, he's trouble. I'm trying. Take him. Oh, gosh.
I might have even shot the 5x5, I don't know. But on day one of the draw tag, I get so excited, maybe I would have. But it was super cool to see that Jacob held off and he knew what he was after.
He's not going nowhere.
Nice, buddy.
Oh, gosh, Jacob. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me. No. Yeah. Oh. I mean, wow.
Congratulations. Thank you for 300.
Are you happy with that?
Yes. First real looking bull elk.
I asked him afterwards, I said, how did you decide that was your bull? He said, the show that bull put on. The shot that he gave.
Shoot that one.
It was just too perfect of a moment. And he decided that was his bull, and that gave him the confidence to pull the trigger when the time was right.
I sent Grandpa a message.
Perfect.
One shot. That's Hornady. 300 Winchester short.
So we come out here, walk in the bush. Within 2 minutes, there was a spike bull coming out. It was full velvet. Jacob passed up a full velvet elk, giving him the gears. Nice 5x5 comes out. I'm pretty sure that if I was holding the tag, I get so jacked up over elk. I'm pretty sure if I was holding the tag, that 5x5 might be on the ground just like this one. And we hear a bugle. We hear call like way into the bushes. Brett's in here calling. I think you were thinking he might not come out.
I didn't think he was going to show himself, that's for sure. And then when I seen him sitting there just on the edge of the bush, I was like, oh, he's going to hold up.
Thought he was going to circle around the bush, and he turned and came right at us, screaming. Oh my gosh. I have been elk hunting since I was 23 years old, and I've never experienced anything like what we just did. It's unbelievable. You weren't really sure what to do.
No.
You were like, look, like, what do I do? And I'm like, shoot it.
I know. Yeah.
Are you sure you wanted to shoot this one? Well, I am now. Awesome. It's opening day, and here we are, tagged out. Unbelievable. So proud of you, buddy. Brett, yeah, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's always enjoyable watching a youngster shoot his first elk like this, a big bull.
I was so excited for him. So happy for Jacob. An absolutely gorgeous bull elk. And he definitely didn't go 20.
No.
He went straight down. Straight down. So, and that was it. One and done. Opening day, one shot. First morning, a bull elk was on the ground. A great shot. Awesome stuff. Well, let's get this guy tagged. Let's get him cleaned up and get him out of here. So, and that was it. That was a wrap for our 2022 elk draw tag.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. Hope you enjoyed the show. Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Ace Outfitting, small town, big adventures. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. Trail Runners Canine Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. North Pro Sports, Performance Archery and Arms. And these fine sponsors.
We had a chance to meet Brett here, and he took us out on our first night. We saw 3 beautiful bulls tonight, some incredible country. And when we first met him, he said he didn't have a spotting scope for an elk hunter out here. I'm like, what do you mean a spotting scope? So we got something for you to use here, Brett. The Bushnell Nitro. You're gonna love it. It's one of my favorite optics.